Yeah, hideously unprepped. You know, like anything. You know, sort of. Yeah. So. No, well, no. I mean, actually, that was all fine. But when you're doing something, you know, back on ITV1 again, you know,
yes.
and this show, it's a serious show. So not actually had. Hi, on the phone in today, we're talking about phobias. What are your phobias? What are yours?
Oh, snakes, definitely. I can't stand even talking about them.
What about that one? Ah! Every time.
Did it work? Yes.
Oh, that looks nice.
See, that's where you're going wrong, Jamelia.
ITV, live in your home every weekday.
Good morning, Britain. Welcome to the programme. Our top stories this morning: the fake toys which could prove lethal. Parents are being warned to be wary after hundreds of thousands of counterfeit products were seized. Defending Britain against floods, ministers promised to protect 300,000 homes from the destruction and heartache of flooding. The £125 online DNA test, which can detect cancer, Alzheimer's and even baldness. It arrives in Britain, but is it reliable? And he's been going live for 19 hours. Phillip Schofield continues his 24-hour live TV marathon for Text Santa right here.
Tuesday, 2nd of December, 2014. Live from ITV Studios in London. This is Good Morning Britain.
Good morning, welcome to the programme. Good to have you with us this morning. It's just after 6 o'clock. And look, he's made it this far. We have a very special guest. Good morning, Mr. Schofield.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I think I'm holding together OK.
You look fantastic. You look very sexy.
It's been a while. Oh, thank you. I think the hair fits well in here, doesn't it? It's sort of serious approach.
Yeah. I would like to offer you a cup of coffee, but I understand you don't drink coffee.
No, I've got some tea coming in.
We've got some tea on order.
Express tea coming, yeah.
Yeah, some builder's tea.
We've had so many messages from everybody, from Julie Wright, Leon Launder, Marion Dunlop, Vicky Overend, Julie, Lindsay Holmes, Annie, Kirsten Kettlewell, all saying we've loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
You're doing an incredible job.
Thank you very much.
Laura Lowndes watched you. Her favourite moment was you doing the weather, but she said it was the perfect round-off when you said short-lived sunshine, perfect weather for giving.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is the essence of all of it,
Which is precisely what it is. The reason that I am doing this and the reason this incredible team have been put together to it's a technological feat, let me tell you, trying to keep us on air doing that, is to guide people, to point people to the 19th of December. That's when the big show happens. We want to make as much money as we can in this 24 hours, but also that's the main crux of the show.
Yeah. Well, the overwhelming message is keep going, you're amazing,
well,
and it's absolutely lovely to have you here. We're going to be looking back at some of the fun that Philip's been having overnight. Dr. Hillary is going to give him the once-over. And...
Do you know about that?
I haven't given my permission for that.
Apparently you signed the form. Oh. And we're going to be looking at you interviewing the Prime Minister after 8 o'clock.
Looking forward to that. Yes, it's Giving Tuesday.
Yeah. Fantastic stuff.
Yeah.
OK, so let's get the first look at the weather from Alex, who's standing by, looking nervous.
Bit nervous, because Phillip Schofield was amazing at the weather yesterday. One thing he did do was get the forecast right. Because today it is going to be pretty fine. On the chilly side, temperatures are still below freezing, particularly across the north, but there'll be a good amount of sunshine on the north, just some cloudy skies across the southeast. More on all of this in around 10 minutes.
Yeah, and more with Philip a little bit later on as well. But first, our main news this morning, which is that consumers are being warned to watch out for potentially lethal fake toys and children's fancy dress costumes as criminals cash in on the festive season.
Yeah, with just weeks to go before Christmas, trading standards have seized hundreds of thousands of counterfeit goods in raids recently. Katie Fawcett is in Nottinghamshire for us this morning. So you've been given access, Katie, to a massive haul of counterfeit goods that have been seized by trading standards. What sort of things have you got there?
Well, Ben, this is all merchandise based on the Disney film Frozen. And any parents who've been frantically looking for the real deal will understand just why this could be so desirable, but they might not understand why it could be so dangerous. For example, these pyjamas, the worry is that they will not meet flammability standards. And these hoodies here, quite shockingly, the concern with these is the cords could cause strangulation. Now, I'm joined by Paul Grettin from Trading Standards. Quite shocking for parents to hear this, but just how real are these risks?
Very real, very dangerous, and we're very worried about it.
And tell us why, you know, we're talking about strangulation with these.
Well, until the law changed on these, and if these complied with the law, you wouldn't be able to do that. And there were 2 to 3 deaths a year before the law changed from children being strangled wearing garments like this.
Absolutely terrifying. How do parents spot the fakes?
Pretty difficult because they are pretty good fakes. The best way to spot them or the best way to avoid them is to buy from reputable, well-known stores only.
OK, thank you very much, Paul. Well, you heard it there. The best thing to do is not risk a replica. And if you're wondering how you
he's confirming that he's stepping down as an MP now. He made a very personal speech, actually. He also talked about how he lost the sight in one eye during a rugby accident. But he says it's now time for him to stand down. New people should come in. And he's also saying that he will not stand in the House of Lords. There they go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that anyone is going to be particularly
Nobody's surprised. I don't think anybody will be surprised by it at all. So it's interesting that there he is. Well, let's go from Brown to Blair. Now, this was, I don't know if you saw it online, there's been quite a hoo-ha about the Blair's Christmas card. Shall I show that to camera? Look, there we go. There we are. Excuse the yellow notes, but there's the Christmas card. Now, this is the picture that everybody's saying, very, very strange face he's making. Well, it says it's not full of festive cheer, and that people are saying that he looks like a ventriloquist dummy because he doesn't look terribly relaxed in the photograph. But they would have chosen it, so they're happy with it.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if that's what your face does when you have your picture taken, then there's not much
Some
you can
people
do about
find it
really.
Slightly embarrassing when they...
Well, but also Christmas cards, maybe he doesn't really like the sort of Christmas card thing. Maybe he'd be much happier to do a round robin, you know, and this is what we've all been
tweet.
up to, and yeah.
Do you do Christmas cards?
No. No, we do Christmas cards, but we don't.
You don't do a photo,
we don't have
family photo.
Picture ones, you know. This is us with our dog. No.
And what do you think about
we haven't got a dog, so it would look ridiculous.
What do you think of when people send tweets to everybody, so it feels very impersonal?
I don't think it counts.
It's same here.
Not so much a tweet, but more on Facebook when you get that great list and you know this is what's happened to us this year and this is and you think well I haven't heard from you since the last round robin. I don't know any of your family anymore, and you've had 3 children, and you send it through every year. And it's when they send a poem, it's like, oh my God, are you serious? Are you serious? This is what little Johnny has written.
Yes, and the family photos as well.
Am I being really bad there? Am I being really bad? I mean, I've been on the telly quite a long time now, so maybe I'm just my honesty button is just turned up. Just
it's perfect.
Do you think you nodded then? Do you think that's bad?
So you know what I love is that your wife is downstairs.
As well?
Your wife's downstairs thinking, oh no, that's the relatives that always send us that poem.
See, this is the story that I'm more interested in. What caused the big bang that shook Britain? There was a couple of nights ago, and this was reported once again throughout all of social media. There was, in the evening, a gigantic bang.
Did you feel it?
I didn't feel it, because I've got a feeling that we might have been watching the telly, and so I think the telly was up quite loud.
But nobody knows what it was, and everybody's now... There's all sorts of conspiracy theories.
Well, you're always going to get conspiracy theorists, and that's the fun of it. That's great. So is it Armageddon? Was it spy planes? Was it aliens? A lot of people are saying that it was either a very large piece of space debris that came in off an old dead satellite, or it was
an old dad satellite.
Dead.
Oh, there's an old dad.
An old dead satellite, or a meteor, a piece of a meteor, or something like that that broke up as it hit the atmosphere. So that's what they think.
Do you know what I'd like it to be?
What would you like it
aliens.
to be? Would you?
I would actually like it to be aliens. OK, now, you know you were just talking about you haven't got a dog, so I don't know if you'd be very interested in this, but people who do, look at this. So here are all the dog things. Apparently they're doing so well, they've had to double their order. So all these presents for your animals. Now, I've got 2 guinea pigs.
Yeah.
That's it. I'm not going to buy them Christmas presents.
Well, you could buy a guinea pig a coat.
What for? It's got its own coat.
Well, yeah, well, that dog has got its own coat, but it's wearing another coat.
Does a dog need to wear that? Honestly.
You know very well that by commenting on any of this sort of stuff, you could seriously get yourself into trouble.
I know, but the dog has a coat.
I personally, personally believe that a dog doesn't need a coat like that because, as you said, it already has a coat.
Yes.
I think that you look at dogs and you can see the shame in their faces. You know, why am I being made to look like Sherlock Holmes?
Yeah. Oh.
Why do I have to wear this hat?
And the antlers for Christmas.
Yeah.
No, well, I have to say, but it's doing incredibly well. I mean, also, you know, presents for hamsters.
Yeah. Well, I get it. I get that people do it, and I understand it. And if their dog is happy with it and they feel comfortable, then I'm okay with that. But
how do you know if the dog's happy? The dog doesn't exactly say, "Oh, hey, a new Christmas jumper."
Well, no, it might do though. You never know. It might think that. I mean, I personally don't think a dog is even fussed about it. It doesn't need it. It's got its own coat.
Although, okay, I'm going to take everything against what I was just saying. That's really quite cute.
Well, it does look quite cute.
I can't help but say it.
There you go.
It does look a little bit cute.
It looks
doesn't
reasonably. In you come, Steve. There you go. What do you think? Does that look?
It's sort of cute. I don't want to
yeah.
admit it. It's sort of cute. Also, now I was watching I'm a Celebrity, and I was watching you watching I'm a Celebrity, which was really strange. Watching it with you, as it were, at home.
It was strange doing it. Let me tell you.
But no, there's a picture in here.
Are we all got to do all of it?
We're not. No, we're not.
Let's pick another paper.
Let's pick another paper. I'm very happy to pick another paper. We're going to talk, or let's talk I'm a Celebrity.
Yeah.
So Michael Burke in that outfit, dressed as a giant bird on a thing. Right, now I'm going to get all the different news. Well, one of them was in the Daily Mail, that picture. And then, here we go, Edwina Curry's daughter. OK, Edwina Curry's daughter says today in the Mirror, "I can't believe my mum gets to cosy up with Jake. If I was there, I'd be in his camp bed."
Oh, well, there
So
we are.
she's slightly jealous of her mother and everybody, because, of course, one of the things Edwina was saying that she's a cougar, as she said it last night.
Well,
She's getting very flirty, isn't she, Edwina?
I'm just checking everyone's ages here. So what we've got Edwina, who's 68, 26-year-old Jake, and Debbie is 40.
You're a lad, but I think you can still find somebody attractive, whatever age.
I don't think age makes any
I
difference
absolutely agree with you.
whatsoever. I don't think it's utterly irrelevant.
Can we just talk about the shock of Jimmy?
Well, it was more the fact that that Foggy was crying.
Yes, of course he was, because it's Joggy. What's going to happen? They're no longer Joggy.
I think that Jimmy, unfortunately, Bantgate, because it was always just Bants. I think that it probably went a little bit too far, and maybe once again, you know, it was part of a much longer conversation, and I think that they'd been playing it backwards and forwards. But the way it looked to us on the telly, fair or not, I just thought, oh, you have been a bit unfair there.
Well,
I think that's too harsh to say to Jake what he said.
I agree. I absolutely agree with you. But up until that point, he was one of the favourites to win.
Yeah. I think so. But having watched him, and you can have your favourite when you are when you start. You're going there first of all, but. It changes throughout the course of the 3 weeks. It completely changes.
I haven't given up mine.
Who's
I'm there all from the beginning.
Yeah.
Melanie Sykes, and I know people know she's a friend of mine, but I think she is being fantastic.
I agree, but if you look at the whole picture, do you think that she will be popular with the female vote? That she is a strong, capable, beautiful Amazonian woman?
Yeah,
I think a
Because
lot of people who would vote might feel threatened by her, because I think that's what women do to each other.
I think, well, that's a real shame, because I think we should be supporting.
It's controversial, but
no,
I think it's
you
true.
can say
There's no one more cruel to women than women.
Than other
in
women.
all the
papers.
And, you know, look at the papers.
Absolutely, it's always the women. Who do you think's going to win?
I think. I mean, I would love it to be Mel, because I think she's amazing and she's a lovely person. I'm a bit torn now, but I
Foggy?
think I don't think it's going to be Foggy. Well, he's just not my cup of tea. I think Jake stands a chance, and if I'm honest, a man who I've watched all of his puffed up snobbiness drop away from him is Michael Burke.
Oh, yes, absolutely. He
I love
surprised
him
a
for that.
lot of people.
Yeah.
But also, in all the papers, everybody's really shocked and saying he's going to leave the jungle because he's got so thin. And
He was thin like that when he went in.
Exactly, and also he's been in war zones.
But that doesn't make any difference. He's a man who keeps himself trim. You have a shape. When you get to, sort of 60 odd, whatever, no matter how much you're trim and you work out, your body looks a certain way. And if you are an older gentleman and you have the slim figure that you've always had, it will look a little bit baggy and a little bit saggy. There's no way around that. I think he is a trim 60-odd-year-old guy who's kept himself. I tell you something right now. What seems incredible these days is that if you actually lose weight and get to the weight you ought to be, people think there's something wrong with you.
Oh no! And then if you put on any, but it's not just these days. It's you look fantastic, by the way.
I've got down to exactly my target weight. My target weight was 11 stone. That's what I wanted to be, and I got up to about 12 and a half. I thought, whoa, this is getting a little bit out of hand. And I always said I would get into it and do something about it. Got to I did the 5-2 diet. And then it worked so well that I trimmed right down and got a tiny appetite. So I now only eat. Is that for me? Thank you very much indeed. I only eat a little bit, and I'm full, and that's fine. And I maintain 11
But you're
stone.
healthy.
I eat healthy food. I exercise, and people say to me, "Oh, you look ill. Look at you, all thin.
Oh
you
no,
lost weight."
he looks very well up close. You know, you look really well. But it is. But you're right. But also, everybody's very, very judgmental about everybody's bodies in the jungles
about weight.
as well.
About weight in general. You know that you're judged just as harshly if you lose weight than you are if you put it on.
Oh, completely, and it makes me very angry because everybody is far too judgmental.
Are we going to do something like this in? You know, when I go in there and do a bit of showbiz, what do you think is the plan in there?
Well, I've done it for a few times now on Good Morning Britain. I think you're just, as far as I know, when you go in, you're going to be talking to America, aren't you? You're going to be talking to Ross King in America. You might be talking television as well.
Maybe I am. Maybe I am. Yeah.
Now, should we go through some more? Because I know you're coming back through here in a minute. Can I just ask you about your pants, please?
No clue. How can you go on Good Morning Britain and do an item and have no clue what it is that you're actually doing?
Don't worry about it.
Rolling through.
Can I just talk to you about your pants, or have I got to wait for the next bit till you come back here?
My pants?
Yes.
What do you mean, my pants?
Well, because there's a thing. I'm going to get. But you're getting very personal about things. You're discussing your weight. You're discussing all sorts of things you don't like. I just want to talk to you about your pants.
Right.
No, there is a reason. Honestly, there is a reason.
What's the reason?
No, it's not your pants in the papers. Don't worry. But apparently, let me find it. Why fronts are back? That's the big thing. So there we go. Shall I show this picture? I think.
Well, you can.
Can I?
Yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with the picture.
It's just lots of men in Y fronts.
Yeah, that's fine.
And I was going to ask you before I forget. I will give an opinion on Y fronts in a moment. But I'd like to ask you: are you a Y front man?
No.
That was easy.
I'm a sort of boxer brief guy.
Tight boxers or the baggy boxers?
Don't like baggy boxers.
So tight boxers.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Y fronts apparently they're back in.
I don't think they're good for you.
I don't.
Well, especially
not good for you.
Well, they always said that underwear that was too tight was bad for you because it heated up your crackers too much and affected your sperm count. And the fact that there were low sperm rates...
6. Yes, it's past the watershed.
There were low sperm rates in young guys because their underwear was warming them up too much. And if you look at problems with infertility sites and all that sort of business, they will say you should wear loose underwear. That's principal point number 1. So I don't know that necessarily, in my current feeling, and I don't have the scientific backing for this, but I do.
How long have you been away?
That the feeling certainly was too tight your underpants and it lowers your sperm count.
Well, thank you for that. But shall I tell you then, the people in East Anglia better be careful. Do you want to know why?
Yes.
Because apparently East Anglia is the UK's Y-front capital. Maybe because Alan Partridge is from Norwich. It says here in today's Sun. See how they put that together?
Is that right? Well, that's fascinating.
So everybody in East Anglia must have very hot
2 minutes.
2 minutes, I've got to go back in.
Rebrief.
Excuse me.
Oh, yes, no.
ITV3.
He was worried about what he was doing.
ITV1. Right, okay.
So we're going to be chatting, so it's Ben and Susanna in what we call our demo area.
Yeah.
And they will chat to you about Tech Santa.
Yeah.
So we've chosen to talk about the abseiling.
Yeah.
The walking on the glass.
Yeah.
The feast with Davina on the roof.
Yeah.
And then Made in Waterloo. With the lift vinyls,
with the
obviously
lifts.
Ben chose. Well, we won't have the lift vinyls in the studio, but we'll have footage of it running while you're talking about it.
Okay.
So they'll run footage of the abseiling while talking about it as well, just as you lay. Same with the glass and same with Davina.
All right.
And then, so that is as a guest on the studio. So do you want cue cards for that?
No, that's
no,
fine.
okay.
That's okay. So and that's what? How long?
That'll be about
3 minutes.
Unfortunately, it's Good
2
Morning Britain,
minutes?
so we're a bit smaller
2
than
minutes?
that. Yeah, about 3.5. So
3 minutes.
Yeah, that's
okay. So tight answers.
Yes, please. That'd be brilliant. Thank you. And then after that, you'll come back in here.
9 in this morning.
Yeah. It's very busy busy in the morning.
Of course, it's newsy.
Very busy,
of course
yes,
it should be.
yeah.
That's
We're all
the way
getting
it
ready for
should
work,
be.
and yeah, exactly.
We're a bit more relaxed by that stage.
Yeah, we can sit and have a coffee and watch by then. So, yeah, and then you'll come back in here for Green Room. You've got some lovely guests outside waiting for you.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and grab you again at just before 6:45.
Okay.
All right.
Perfect. So shall I come round?
Come and wait out here. Thanks for you.
That is just taken, what, seconds for that to go up in flames. This is...
That's yours.
It would be how long?
I think we're up this. Yeah.
He didn't go and ring the bell.
Because they're encouraging child labour, they're paying for illegal trades, but it's just dangerous as well. I mean, not everything is as dangerous as a dress like that, but from small things like counterfeit chargers, you can plug them in outside your children's bedroom at night and go to bed. It's the wrong voltage. What are you doing? You know, it is just a risk we're not prepared to take.
Well, except those people are prepared to take it, as you say, because either it's cheaper, or because, you know, at this point, coming up to Christmas, things are selling out, and sometimes this is the easiest way to get it.
Well, it might be easier, but really, is it worth it in the long run? I mean, these things, you know, they're just encouraging. Just huge accidents are just waiting to happen, and there's so much out there. But also, it's fairly naff, isn't it? If it's not the right thing, it's not going to work, it's not going to look right, and at worst, it could be very dangerous.
There is, like you say, there is an awful lot of pressure on parents at this stage. With, as Suzanne said, we've got 3 weeks to go till Christmas, and if the choice is between getting something that perhaps doesn't look quite like the original and the original, whatever it is, they're willing to take that risk. Though, let's face it, a lot of these toys will get played with for a few days over Christmas and then get forgotten about.
Yeah, but think of the disappointment on Christmas Day when they open it up and it's a PlayStation game or it's an electronic game, and you put it in, it's not going to work. It's going to be fuzzy, it's going to be substandard. The fake Ugg boots we see everywhere, they're going to fall apart, they're not going to look the same. That first surge of joy at having the thing is going to be over pretty quickly, and hopefully it'll be over just because it looks wrong or falls apart, rather than it causes your child or your family great damage. I mean, we are so lucky in this country, across Europe, that all things for children are tested to the nth degree. And if you opt out of that safety net, then you are putting your family at risk. And I don't think it's a risk worth taking.
All right, Alice, thanks so much. If you want more advice on how to avoid counterfeit goods this Christmas, you can go to our website, itv.com/GMB, to see what surprises we have in store for you.
Now then, Alice, we're going to leave you there, if we may. Thank you for coming in. In the spirit of what has been an extraordinary 19 hours
grab my coffee, hang on.
Since Phillip Schofield went live, and he has more or less spent every one of those hours walking around this entire building. He has only got 4 hours, 37 minutes and 41 seconds, 40 seconds left on air. We're going to go and join him on the other side of the studio. Is there any part of the building that you haven't been to?
No.
it's just been extraordinary watching you sort of go like round the rabbit warren that is ITV Tower.
Yeah, well, it's also... it's been such, and I said that before, it's a massive feat for everybody. Even though it's a broadcast building, it's not all cabled. So there are bits of it that are very seldom ever seen on the telly. That mirror that you walk down before you get to the stairs and the studios, there's a big mirror there. It's the last one that everyone checks themselves in surreptitiously before they get to makeup, to think, do I look all right before I go into makeup? You know, that's never seen.
Well, you look fantastic considering you've done 19 hours. What did you do to prepare?
Do you know, I don't think you can do anything to
What
prepare.
time did you wake up? Because you went live at
11.
11. So
morning,
what time did you wake up yesterday morning?
I normally wake up at about 10 to 6, but I allowed myself an extra hour in bed because I didn't do the trail for this morning, which we normally do, and I didn't need to do the meeting.
So one extra hour.
But you didn't sleep. But I was watching on Twitter and I looked at my tweets when I came in first thing. You know how early we come in now because you were there this morning. You didn't really sleep particularly well. You couldn't fall asleep on Sunday.
No, I was restless on Sunday. I went to sleep OK, better than I thought I would, and then I woke up at 1 and I woke up at 3 and I woke up at 5 and it was just that restlessness. If I'm honest, I just wanted to start.
Get started. Yeah. And you're in the middle of it. You're coming towards the sort of the last lap. Let's talk about some of the extraordinary things you've done. A lot of people have been tweeting us about your abseil.
Yeah, I loved it.
Had you ever done one before?
No, well, yes, I have abseiled before. And I haven't abseiled down this particular building. But this is in preparation for the next big challenge, which will happen next week for the show on the 19th, when I am going to climb to the top of the shard.
Oh, my days.
On the outside?
Up the shardy bit.
That's flat glass.
Yeah. And I'm going up on the inside of that. So at one point...
On the inside?
I will be, because, you know, they go like that.
Yes, they do.
There's a platform and you go up like that. I will be 16 feet into civil aviation airspace. Controlled airspace.
Have they given you clearance?
Feet. I hope I've got clearance.
Do you have to wear a little flashing light in your head?
Are air traffic control in charge?
I don't know whether I've got to tell air traffic control, but I mean stuff like that. I just love that.
For you, Philip. They tried to sort of say something.
Yeah, just trying to get rid of it.
You've been walking over broken glass in order to raise money for charity. Now, just have a look at this, because it makes me feel. Oh, I wonder if we can see the. Ah, there we go. How painful was that?
That is, if you. And I had one afternoon's worth of training. The training is essential, and you learn how to make sure that it doesn't hurt you.
Wow.
So you learn how to make sure it doesn't hurt you?
Yeah.
It's mind over matter.
It's learning how to step. Having said that, I would point out, I've got to say to anyone that you absolutely do not do that
late Christmas Day
unless you've been trained.
Do not do that at home.
No.
Gran.
Oh, and you came in especially early.
Yes, I did. Yes.
In order to greet you at the lift.
Yeah, well, we had three of the guys from Made in Chelsea, and they had designed the lifts. There you go. There's Jamie and Andy.
And they were designing the lifts, which people can now.
You can buy it
on eBay for It Goes Tech Centre.
And so we sort of popped back a couple of times during the course of the night, and then when you came in, Ben, we nabbed you and asked you to judge the winner.
Yeah, and we crowned Andy was the winner with his coconuts palm tree, and actually just wrote my name on it, so that's what did it.
It was a complete bribe.
Yes, it was.
That's what it was.
Of course, there was a very serious side to why we're doing all these extraordinary challenges and why Philip's putting himself through this marathon. It's to raise money for Tech Centre and the 6 charities that we are supporting as well. They're hugely important, aren't they, Philip?
What's terrific about Tech Centre is that these are 6... Every year we have 6 different charities. These are 6 very different charities, whether it's Alzheimer's, whether it's Well Child, whether it's Together for Young Lives. They're guide dogs, you know, so Marie Curie. So there is something, I think, if you have something in your life that's important to you, someone in your life who was important to you, you have ever needed these people, then hopefully you will see one of those charities and think, I really want to help those. The reason we're doing this, the entire reason for the whole 24 hours, is just to say, hey, we're Tech Centre, we're on the 19th of December, and we would love to be able to help these charities as much as possible.
You are magnificent. Just like to say that on behalf of all of the audience. It's extraordinary. And I hope
He's not got there yet.
No, I was going to say,
done it.
I hope you can keep going.
4 hours and 32 minutes.
Yeah. And then what are you going to do when it's all over? You're going to just go straight and sleep, or are you going to be too full of adrenaline to relax?
I think I will probably... I've got to be careful I don't go straight to sleep, otherwise you end up with jet lag, and I'm on this tomorrow morning.
You know, it's a normal show.
Yes.
So, I'd imagine there might be a drink or two involved.
I think it could be right.
If you want to get involved with Tech Centre, here's how you can.
Donating to our Tech Santa appeal couldn't be easier. To give £5, text Santa5 to 70760. Or if you can stretch to £10, it's Santa 10. You must be 16 or over, and please ask the bill payer's permission. Or donate by phone. Call 0300 123 60 60. Standard charges may apply. Please check with your operator. And remember, 100% of your donation, however you give, will go to the Tech Santa charities.
OK, still to come this morning, the tweet about the gaming character Super Mario that's led to Mario Balotelli being engulfed in a racism storm. That's all coming up in the sport in a few moments.
Now, though, I think you should say this.
OK, let's get the news, travel and weather where you are.
Marvellous. Who needs that?
OK, thank you, guys, thank you.
So Gabby had to leave. It's her daughter's birthday, so she couldn't enjoy it.
Who has?
Gabby.
Gabby's had to go.
So we're now going to be talking. Just stop for a second, Philip. Chris is just going to brief you. We're now to the 6 CEOs of the charity.
Chief executives.
Magic.
They're sat to left to right in the order that they are on your cards there. And we just want to hear specifically from them what £5 and £10 can do for their charity.
Yeah, OK.
So, Philip, as you've got to stick them, I suggested maybe if you wanted to sit on the end of the sofa this end, talk to the first two.
Yeah.
And I said you go to the middle,
Yeah.
talk to one in the side, and then you can pop to the other.
That'd be lovely. OK,
Right.
we've got everybody's
Thank you,
names.
sir. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all fabulous.
In your own time.
How long before we're back in?
10 minutes.
10 minutes. OK, that's great. Thank you. Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
Hello.
Very, very nice.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Very nice to see you.
Hello again.
Hiya, hiya. How are you? Good to see you.
Hi.
Gentlemen. All right, well, I hope that we've done you proud over the last few hours.
More than few.
Still going strong. So what we've got here is we've got the sort of the bosses. We've got the chief executives of the 6 charities that we're representing on Tech Santa. I was just mentioning that on Good Morning Britain. We're proud to support and raise money for these UK causes. This year we're focusing on those 6 amazing charities: the Teenage Cancer Trust, Guide Dogs, World Child, Marie Curie Cancer Care, Alzheimer's Society and Together for Short Lives. And so we've got now someone who's representing each of those charities. And actually, funny enough, I wanted to ask you the same question. I'm going to ask you to pass the microphone down, if I may. I'll give that to you first of all. The same question, first of all, and that's what difference would £5 make to your charity? And Dr. Jane Collins from the Marie Curie Cancer Care. So there's the question. What difference would £5 make to your charity?
That allows us to provide a helper volunteer to go into people's homes, people who have got a terminal illness, support that person and also their family, so that they get visitors, they get people to talk to, get emotional support.
And can I ask you to pass that microphone down to Barbara Gelb, who is representing Together for Short Lives. I'm going to ask you the same question to all of you. £5. What difference?
£5 will make a huge difference. It will pay towards bereavement support for children who have lost a brother and sister who might have been ill with a life-limiting condition, and so will need that support.
Okay. And then we've got Siobhan Dunn from the Teenage Cancer Trust.
5 texts of £5 would pay for an hour of specialist care for a Teenage Cancer Trust nurse. It's all going to be spread equally, but the reason why that's so important is young people have very specific emotional, practical, physical, psychological issues and challenges, and nurses are there to help them throughout their cancer treatment.
Okay, thank you very much indeed. And then down to Colin Dyer from Well Child.
£5 will help us train parents to care for their children at home, so that their child who may be seriously ill or have a complex condition doesn't need to spend time in hospital. The parents can take care of them at home where they need to be.
And then next to you, we've got Richard Lehman, who's from Guide Dogs.
£5 will pay for a one-day's guide dog partnership, so giving a blind person their life back, giving them a chance to get out, meet people, go to work. It makes a huge difference, and £20 would pay for a single day's training for the amazing guide dog puppies that go into those partnerships.
They're all incredible stories. And next to you, we've got Jeremy Hughes from the Alzheimer's Society.
Well, when you get Alzheimer's disease or another form of dementia, you're alone. There isn't the support that other diseases get on the NHS. So with £5, we can provide a dementia support worker who will come to you, support you and your carer to go through the struggle that it is to deal with dementia and live day by day.
So, thank you very much indeed for that. I'm probably going to have to field this by wandering around a little bit, but a lot of you, what you're doing, and certainly what I've learned over the past, well, quite a lot of hours, is that it's so important to be able to get out and help people in their own homes or free them up from their own homes.
Yes, absolutely. So if you've got a terminal illness, and we mainly look after people with cancer, but we look after people with other terminal illnesses as well, then you can be trapped in your own home, and so can your family, so can your carers and loved ones. And so to take pressure off them by having somebody who they get to know, giving up to 3 hours a week visiting, makes a huge difference to them.
Yeah. Very similarly with the children's hospices, they provide support within the hospice, also importantly within the family's home. So when a family has a child with a condition which means that they won't live to see adulthood, they need a huge amount of support. These children need care 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Having support in their own home makes all the difference.
And for the Teenage Cancer Trust, I mean, you have, once again, this is something else that we've been discussing, that when you are a teenager, you know, you are immortal. You're going to live forever, and then suddenly you're struck by the brick wall that sometimes you have problems. There are difficulties, and it's scary.
Absolutely. At a time in your life when everything is ahead of you, you've got so many possibilities. Throwing cancer in the mix is just completely catastrophic, and everything Teenage Cancer Trust does is about minimising the long-term fallout and supporting a young person and their family throughout their cancer experience.
Yeah, and for you, just that freedom.
Well, our big push is that children should be cared for at home.
Yeah.
So our well child nurses that we fund, which Tech Santa will be funding, they work first and foremost in hospital to get the child home. But then, of course, the parents need the support. So they continue to work with the parents at home to make sure they've got everything they need so the child doesn't end up back in hospital.
Yeah, yes.
So it's crucial for us.
Well, sight loss takes away your life, and what we try to do with guide dogs is to give people that independence and freedom back. Get them out of the home, get them to work, and avoid depression, which is inevitable onset after sight loss. And we do it in a number of ways through our work with children. We help children with white cane training through the guide dog service, and also with our sighted guide service for older people. And it's an increasingly large percentage of the population losing their sight when they get older. So yes, getting out, getting independence, getting your life back is what guide dogs are about.
With Alzheimer's disease, it's really easy just to see the disease and not see the person anymore. And I think what our dementia support workers do is help a person with dementia themselves and their carer to remember that there's still a person there as well, even though the disease is making life difficult. It helps you get through the everyday problems of life, getting from morning to evening without breaking down, but also gives you a chance to remember that there are still good things you can have, even when you've got Alzheimer's disease.
Lovely. Thank you all very much indeed for coming in today. And they are 6 incredible charities. As I said, that all of us who are involved in Tech Santa are very, very proud to just briefly be your representatives on social media and around the country. Your work is amazing, and hopefully this year we'll do a huge amount for you. And as I've said before, the big show is the 19th of December. We're trying to raise as much money as we possibly can today. If you go to my Twitter account, which is @Schofe, I've got links there as to how you can get directly involved with my 24-hour marathon challenge, and that money straight away goes to the charities, of which the charities get 100% across the board with Tech Santa. That's the way it works. And throughout all the other challenges that we've got running up and down the country, if you hear the name, buying our little pin badges that are like that one, or the hats, or the jumpers, or the t-shirts, all of that money going straight into the stories that you just heard there from the 6 representatives of these incredible charities. So anything you can do, that would be very much appreciated. And thank you all very much. Right, so what have we got here? We've got, so let's do a little bit of social media, and I'll stand here against my changing screen. There we go. So that I've not pinned you all in now. So if you need to go for a cup of tea, you can discreetly go and disappear.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you very much indeed. Eat fruit, keep on the move, stay awake, says Anna. Do you know what? I am in no danger whatsoever of falling asleep. It's not going to happen. It's 6:37 in the morning. I think the worst of it is done now. As far as I'm concerned, I mean, obviously now we're pointing towards the next big interview, which is at Downing Street with the Prime Minister. We're talking about Giving Tuesday there. I used to night working, says Rebecca Allen. She's a cardiothoracic nurse. The trick is to keep going. Thank you very much indeed for that, Rebecca. Trying to last the whole 24 hours with Schofe, eating all the food in my cupboard and even some of the spreads. That's come from James. James, I'm from Towie. Well, thank you, James. That's very much appreciated. Gemma Collins said, wide awake watching Schofe and Tech Centre. Amazing work. And also Rab Wilding. Up all night now watching Schofe having a shave in the ladies' toilet with a barbershop quartet singing to him. Yeah, something of a highlight. Instead of sleeping, I'm watching Tech Centre and having a job interview later. Yikes. Well, good luck for that, Heather. Keep going. You can do it. I truly do believe that I can now as the time ticks on. Never thought watching you brush your teeth could be so entertaining, says Meg. And Steph says, please can you do this every day? I'm assuming that that's not my missus who just wants me gone for 24 hours. It said I literally can't turn it off, which is good. And Bill's Tucker, every hour I stay up, I'm donating £10 to Tech Santa. That's a really good idea. Start eating... this is a well-known Christmas brand of sweets in a large tin that starts with quality. Start eating those, that'll help, although I'm really trying not to eat too much sugar. I'm making a cup of tea if you'd like one, says Morag. Just would be lovely. Builder's tea, really, really strong, very little milk, and I think I probably have 1.5 sugars if that's all right, Morag. In a fit of laughter here, it's like Scofield the musical, says Ryan. So donating to Tech Santa and the appeal couldn't be easier. To give £5, text Santa 5 to 70760. That's 70760. Or if you can stretch to £10, then you text 10 to 70760. You must be 16 or over, and please ask the bill payer's permission or donate by phone. You can call 0300 123 6060. Standard charges may apply. Please check with your operator, or you can donate online at the Text Santa website. 100% of your donation will go to the Text Santa charities. So where should we go now then? What do you think? What's the plan
Dr.
now?
Hiller is about to come in.
Is he?
And he's going to test your blood pressure.
Oh, okay.
So he's asked if he can slip this on.
Yes,
in preparation.
Come in, Hillary. Where is he?
He'll be through in a second.
Okay.
How's that?
Okay.
Let's pop your jacket back on. There you go. And he'll just pick that up. Perfect.
You ready for your close-up, sir?
Yeah. Well, I'm now.
You changed again.
Well, no, I'm wired up for Nook.
Where's that go? Oh, is that for Hillary?
It's Dr. Hillary. Yes, I'm assuming it's Dr. Hillary.
I was suddenly panicking because I just turned around and thought we're on there, but we are on there, aren't we?
We are on there. Yeah, you're on ITV3.
And I just went, that's Alex. He's on the
Yeah, you've just walked onto ITV3.
Hello, ITV3. It's kind of a little bit like the Truman Show, this Philip.
Yes, it is. Yeah, and it's more and more, and suddenly I end up doing a really serious interview, you know, in the middle of nowhere. I think, right, okay, that's fine, and then it changes. This is like the sea coming in and out. You never know what you're going to.
And we've got what? So where are we now? It's 6:45.
Yeah.
What time are you finishing? Sort of
11 o'clock.
At 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. Yeah.
So who's doing this morning for you this morning?
Well, I start it.
Yes.
And then at 11 o'clock I finish it. I think it's Amanda and Gok.
Right. So Amanda and Gok are going to take you there. So 11 o'clock, 7. It's a few hours to go.
Yeah. Why are you out here? Aren't you on the telly?
I'm walking you back in. No. Alex is doing the weather. We're all right.
is he going to do this when I'm in there?
Between me and me, I'm actually not sure he's a real doctor. I wouldn't let him go near me with that thing and that thing. So, you know.
Right then, okay.
I hope you're insured.
Yeah, fine. Well, I'll just keep it tucked in there, and you'll. What?
Okay.
3, 2,
We're
1.
coming out to this
Are we
one.
going in?
Yes.
Right. Okay. Let's go.
Okay, hold on.
Stand by, guys. Here
So
we
you're
go.
going to throw to these. Alex, just throw to the thing. Charlotte's got the headlines first. We've got the headlines.
Okay, that's cool.
We've got the headlines.
That's cool.
If you're watching ITV1 at the same time, then Charlotte's on now with the headlines. And actually, you can see what she's saying as well. That's the autocue that's spinning through. Just on the top of John, who's our steady cam on camera 6, and young Simon stood next to him, who's actually single at the moment. So if anybody is interested, he likes walks in the park and movies. What's your favourite movie at the moment, Simon?
Frozen.
literally Frozen.
Stand by. Here we go.
Here we go.
There is a lot of this, isn't there? Those moments before as things cross over and hand over. This is what I've loved watching.
This is what I've loved. I've loved it.
So Charlotte's on the last headline.
Yeah, I'll move that quick. Here we go, guys.
So look, here we are in agreement. ITV1 meet ITV3. ITV3.
Oh, look at that. And they're getting on really well. It's lovely.
Philip, let's head in.
That was good.
We're going to head in this way. It is, you're 19 hours, probably 24 hours. Yeah. We need to make sure. We're all a bit worried about how your body's holding up. So we've brought in our very own Dr. Hillary. Here he is. And we've got some surgery music.
Oh, are you? It's a surgery music.
This is surgery. This is what happens in your surgery, Nils. Have a seat.
They've walked in and I've been wired up.
Excellent. Please take a seat.
Thank you. All right.
Doctor, we'll see you now.
Doctor, I'm feeling all right, Doctor. Just a little tired.
Pupils are a bit dilated.
Are they?
Yeah.
With things like this, we talk about shift work because I mean Philip's done a proper shift, as it were.
Yes.
What are the things that people need to be looking out for?
Well, there might be some memory lapses, a bit of loss of concentration.
Yeah,
might be some irritability.
Not too irritable. Although I have to say that when we've pointed this out a number of times and I've stressed it, I know that this is 24 hours on the telly. This is not serious shift work that you do day in, day out on a proper job with a great responsibility.
I got a lovely tweet from the Birmingham nurses who all said, Philip, you're part of the team now, you're part of the shift work, and they were sending you a lot of love. So a lot of people have got a lot of respect for what you're putting yourself through.
Well, that's very kind.
Half qualified to be a junior doctor on a weekend now.
Well, you haven't seen my blood pressure.
Overqualified.
Maybe we're just doing it now, actually.
Yeah, I know, I can feel it.
So what's it saying then, Hills?
Blood pressure 181. That's pretty high, over 103.
Yeah?
And your pulse rate's 90.
There you go.
Is this the time we really should be doing?
103. Now and again, it's okay.
Yeah.
You wouldn't want to be doing this all the time.
No, I wouldn't want to be doing it all the time.
It's pretty high, actually.
Yeah.
Have you been? Because I know that initially you hadn't really eaten very much. Have you managed to stop the food?
I haven't eaten very much at all. I'm probably dehydrated because I haven't had time, and also I haven't wanted to keep breaking for loo breaks, so I haven't been to the loo either.
That would
so
put your
probably,
blood pressure up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, I probably had 1 bottle of water in 20 hours.
Caffeine at all? Tea?
No caffeine.
No tea?
A bit of tea.
Yes,
quite a bit of tea.
Yes, there's caffeine in tea as well, so that's good.
Yeah.
Do you think, Hillary, that as a race we're getting better at dealing with less sleep the more we have to... No?
I mean, I think it's one of the problems of modern society is lack of sleep, and people are burning the candle at both ends. They're watching TV till late, they're using their, texting or using their mobile phones, switching off the light. They're not getting to sleep and waking up at the same time. So people are under a lot of stress because of sleep deprivation. It is a cumulative problem. There we are.
Apparently, dehydrated. Is that the right?
Dehydrated, yeah.
Is that the right?
I will be. But I knew I would be, and I'm normally very, very good with water. I drink lots of water every day. But on something like this, unfortunately, there are sacrifices to be made. If you're going to be on the telly for 24 hours, you cannot keep rushing off and going to the loo. It's just inconvenient.
Hillary, did you say that his blood pressure is higher than you would like it to be?
Today it is. I mean, we wouldn't say he's got high blood pressure generally because this is a one-off reading.
I have regular checkups, and I know that my blood pressure is generally very good.
So what can we do to lower his blood pressure this morning?
Finish at 11 o'clock.
Yeah, well, it should
Stop
be.
putting me on 3 channels at once.
It should be around 130 over 80, 85. 185. His was 181, over 103. So it's 20% higher than it would normally be.
Do you think it goes up? Have you ever followed it when you've been live anywhere? When you do like a big event?
It's been tested before when I'm live on the telly.
I mean, it would be because of the stress of being on telly, which you're obviously used to. But you know, 24 hours, that's quite stressful to the body. So,
so massage for Phillip Schofield then.
From somebody like yourself, yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that's always a good idea.
If it was Ben doing it, you would see the irritability come out.
Right then, well, look, unfortunately, we are going to keep you on all sorts of channels because you've got a lot of work to do for us.
I fully appreciate that.
Ross is coming up and you're going to be chatting to him live in LA with Susanna. And if you are ending the whole thing by going to number 10. You'll be live at number 10 with the Prime Minister.
So no stress there, then.
None whatsoever. Coming up this morning, they may be tempting, but we're going to be reading just how dangerous fake goods can be.
Morning, guys. Would you really want to buy these fake goods and give them to your family for Christmas? Because just take a look at the kind of effects that it can have on your house.
We shall have a Bond off Cumberbatch.
Look at that, that's a very good Sean Connery.
Thank you,
You can't beat a good Bond off. And Ross can't help himself, can he? Who do you think does the best Bond impression? We'll find out when we come back.
I would have thought you would have
Well, I wasn't going to give up the opportunity to present alongside a national treasure, Phillip Schofield.
With high blood pressure currently.
You feel a bit spooked by that, don't you?
That was weird, because normally I'm so healthy and it's normally so low, and I was saying I had no idea that doing something like this, and obviously abusing your body slightly by not drinking enough and not eating enough, could have such an effect. So
more
it's
water,
fascinating. Fascinating.
More carbohydrates, and something to lower your blood pressure. Talking of which, we've given Ben a moment off. He's having a little break. He's been working so hard. He's having someone massage his face with a nice sort of powder puff.
You get used to this, Scofield.
That's kind of what you need, isn't it, if you've got high blood pressure?
Yeah, something's really wrong with this picture. It's not...
So that means you and I interview Ross King together.
Yeah, well, that's good. It's not. I mean, it's not like I've been up all night or anything. So let's go live to Ross King in LA, who has been catching up with Benedict Cumberbatch. Morning, Ross.
Good morning. It just goes to show that even a shattered Phil with high blood pressure is better than a fresh Ben. How ridiculous is that?
Oh, we could start presenter wars here on the programme, Ross. That's fighting talk.
Very good. So what you discovered?
Well, the man is Cumberbatching everything in his path. He is quite simply, as we all know, one of the finest actors of our generation. He's everywhere. Not only is he on the screen, on the telly, he was out and about last night at the premiere of The Hobbit in London. This man can turn his hand to absolutely anything. Imitation Game at the moment, he is so brilliant in. Got to be an Oscar nomination for that. And then he can be the baddie in Star Trek. And now he can be a wolf. Yes, a wolf in The Penguins of Madagascar. Hitting the cinemas near you this weekend. But now check out the man that is the brilliant Benedict Cumberbatch.
OK, boys, this is it. The mission we've been preparing for our entire lives.
Remain calm, penguins. You are now under the protection of the North Wind.
Private, dibble me.
Now, this movie looks absolutely terrific. We've spoken about it briefly before, but I want to talk more because, basically, it's a great opportunity for me to have a bond-off with you.
Bond-off?
Bond-off.
Or bond-on?
No, I think we'll have a... I think we'll have a bond-off, Cumberbatch.
Look at that. That's a very good Sean Connery.
Thank you. I schmosh kind.
Morning, Moneypenny.
What is wonderful is, though, the Bond you went to, though, not... I would have thought you would have gone to Roger.
Well, there's a bit of Roger in there. There's a bit of get in the car. Get in the car now, Timothy Dalton. And then there's, I don't know, there's just a lot of me. There's a lot of me having a lot of fun.
The North Wind is an elite task force dedicated to helping animals who can't help themselves.
He's part of a team. He's a leader of a team. So in that sense, he's not really that Bond. He just happens to be English and think he's a bit suave. But I think there the Bond comparisons finish. He's kind of someone in the office of MI6 rather than a lone wolf. No pun intended. Intended. He's a lot more confident than he should be.
Now, in terms of the method work that went into this, talk us through your thoughts on this one, Benedict.
Yeah, sure. I spent a lot of time in the wilderness. What most people don't know is I did spend a long time adrift on an igloo. An igloo that was just to the side, like a kind of semi-detached thing to an iceberg. And that was just to experience what it is like to be a lone wolf.
Very good. Ross, I'm off to meet the Prime Minister a little bit later on. We're going to talk about Giving Tuesday. This is a phenomenon that started in America. It's huge over there, isn't it?
It certainly is, Phil. Back in 2012 was really when it first got going here. And it's so perfect because, of course, we have Thanksgiving on the Thursday. Then there's all the madness of people going to the shops for Black Friday. And it's just so nice to have a day when everyone stops to think about people less fortunate and then gives them just this wonderful big chance to give. And we're just targeting it on this Tuesday, which is just a phenomenal thing. We've got Australia taking part now, Canada. And if anyone can convince the PM, it's you. Although when you get in there, Phil, I've got a feeling you might think, is he coming for my job as well?
Yeah, exactly. Sitting in for everyone. Ross, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Can I just say,
Thanks,
for a man who's been up for so long, you smell so fragrant.
Oh, that's very kind. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I had to cover my... Yeah, my co-presenters don't normally smell so lovely. I had to cover myself in perfume. I felt like it was showing me up a bit. Coming up, is this the moment that lost it for Jimmy? We're going to ask him about claims that he went too far in the way he spoke to Jake in the jungle. He's here in 20 minutes.
Now, let's get the news, travel and weather where you are.
You can have a little micro-sleep now.
Thank you.